The IBM Connections social Q&A solution enables users to obtain and reuse answers from questions that are intelligently routed to subject matter experts throughout their organization. Current forums and social networks require users to already know too much in order to get answers, but users who have the most questions are typically new employees, customers, or agents who often don't know who or where to ask for help. IBM Connections social Q&A overcomes these challenges by removing the reliance on a person's social network or existing knowledge. Examples of situations where social Q&A can improve productivity include a salesperson who needs questions answered in order to close a deal, a new hire who needs answers on how to procure ad prints for a trade show, a support rep who needs an answer to solve a critical situation. Let's walk through a few scenarios to see how it works. Here we are acting as the hypothetical character Samantha Darren, who has a question that she needs to have answered. She has already navigated her browser to her company's IBM Connections server, and she clicks the Social Q&A button in the title bar to bring up the dialog that allows her to ask a question from anywhere within the Connections platform. Samantha types in her question, how much equity does a homeowner need before they can get a home equity loan? Notice that as she types, a list of questions is shown below the text box, first just one and then eventually multiple. These are questions that have already been asked in the system and that have been automatically identified as being related to Samantha's question. If Samantha saw that her question had already been asked, she could click on it to immediately view the answers. Having not seen a related question that matches what she is asking, Samantha enters additional information that will help her question get answered more rapidly. First, she enters a more detailed description for her question that provides those who would answer the question with more context. She also adds tags to her question using the familiar tagging interface common to many Connections items. She can also add an answer by date to give the system and potential answerers some context for the urgency with which she needs her question answered. Pressing Next brings Samantha to the routing page, where the system shows her the people it has identified as being most likely able to answer her question, Amidala Lane and Dan Masawa. When Samantha clicks Ask, the question will get posted publicly in Connections and also explicitly routed to Amidala and Dan through Connections Activity Stream interface, and also by email. Now let's see what it looks like when a person receives a question from the point of view of a different user, Dan Masawa. If we go to Dan's homepage in Connections, we will see that he has an item in his Action Required Activity Stream for the question that Samantha just asked. Clicking on that item will reveal its embedded experience, which is a detailed interface that allows Dan to see more information about the question and any answers that have already been given. Dan can also provide feedback to the system about the routing, which he might use if he was unable to answer the question. He can also share the question with others, which he might do if he knew someone else who he thought would be better able to answer the question than himself. In this case, he forwards the question to his friend Amidala, whom he knows is an expert in loans like the one Samantha is asking about. He also includes a short message to explain his reasoning. In this case, Dan also provides an answer to the question because he has some expertise in the area. After typing in his question, he clicks Post to post his answer publicly. Samantha is also notified in her activity stream of the answer, which we will see shortly. Now let's view the experience from the point of view of a third user, Amidala Lane. Here we see Amidala's Action Required Activity Stream view. Samantha's home equity loan question appears twice because the system routed the question to Amidala initially, and then Dan Masawa also manually shared the question to Amidala with a message, which we can see at the top. Amidala clicks on the entry in his activity stream to bring up the embedded experience. After reading Dan's answer, he clicks the answer's Like button to indicate that he believes it is correct. He can also add his own answer that includes additional information that may help out Samantha. Let's now return to the view of Samantha Darren, who originally asked the question. We'll click the Home button at the top of the screen to view her activity stream. We can see that there are 3 entries in her activity stream about her question, representing actions that users have taken answering and liking the question and its answers. Samantha can click on one of these entries to bring up the embedded experience, where she can view the answers in more detail. She particularly likes Dan's answer, so she clicks the Like button associated with it. His answer also provides the information that she needed to answer her question. So, as the original question asker, she chooses to accept his answer. This marks the overall question as answered, and this specific answer as the best for this question. So far, we have seen how the Smart Social Q&A system can be interacted with through the IBM Connections activity stream user interface. There is also a Social Q&A app that allows users to browse questions and answers and see the activity in the system as a whole. There are 3 main views in the Social Q&A app. My Questions, showing the questions I have asked, Questions Asked of Me, showing questions routed or shared with me, and All Questions, that allows me to see questions anyone has asked and their answers. One of the best ways to browse the All Questions view is to click on the tags on the left side of the screen. This filters the view to just questions with those tags. We can also click on the question in any of these views to see its detailed information, including its answers. From this view, we can take all of the same actions that we have previously seen in the embedded experience. Users can also add comments to answers, for example asking for the answer to provide additional details or clarification. From the app, users can also control their personal settings. Users can opt out of having questions automatically routed to themselves, and also control the types of email notifications that they receive.